to the love for Elroy, the God who sees us. This episode is going to be very honest, raw, and real because it's the compilation of the days the universe sat me down and rewrote my thoughts about atheism. You remember that I told I was an atheist once? Like 25 years of my life, I believed that no God is there, no coincidences, no synchronicities. I was a person like that. With all those concepts of life and love already changing, this was one of the concept that universe changed my mind about. I don't think anyone wakes up one fine morning and says, okay, today I'll stop being an atheist. It's never that dramatic. It's actually slow, shamefully slow. Like the universe standing behind you with its arms folded, watching you argue with thin air, while it waits for you to notice, hey, I've been here the whole time, you stubborn child. This is one of those chapters. The chapter where I, the woman who once confidently declared God is a terrible manager and the universe is a scam, accidentally walked into a friendship with the very thing I used to hate. In fact, I wasn't just an atheist, I was an angry atheist. In Polish terms, I can call myself stoic who believes that God actually exists, but he is an evil person. The type who would see a temple bell ring suddenly and think, yeah, nice sound, still not doing a job. Because honestly, life had given me enough reasons. People I loved suffered, I suffered. People who did nothing wrong faced things that would break a fully grown adult. And there were days I would look at the world and feel like it was designed by someone who forgot empathy and outsourced humanity to the wrong contractor. In my head, God was the silent witness who let disasters unfold and then expected us to clap for whatever was left. And I would ask myself, if he is real, why is he just watching? Why didn't he stop half the storms people went through? Why does the world feel like an unfinished project? I never had answers. So I shut the whole concept down. Okay, cool, no God, life is chaos, case closed. That was actually easier. Then came the phase you heard in the previous episodes where the universe suddenly felt like a personality it earned my trust. Not a theory or a concept that I would say. It was simply a presence. It is simply a presence. The first few times it responded to me, I treated it like a coincidence. Like when you hear someone call your name and turn around to see no one, and your mind whispers, don't be dramatic. Or you just talk about a thing and Instagram or Amazon shows you the exact product that you need to buy. So I just brushed it off like that. But it kept showing up. Universe kept answering me in small ways, big ways, and in ways so personal, it felt like it had access to my thoughts folder. And for the first time in my life, the silence around me didn't feel empty. It felt observant, like somebody's watching me. Still, I didn't believe in God, not divine, just a strange, calm intelligence that seemed too patient to be imaginary. You know, that thing that happens when you're on the verge of transformation. The universe sends people as answers, not angels or some saints, just perfectly human people who say the right thing at the right accidental moment. Two instances stand out so vividly that even now I wonder if they were scripted by universe or something. Someone told me this casually in a conversation, like they were commenting on a weather. It hit me like a slap that I didn't see coming. The conversation was with a person who I lived with in PG, a girl who is younger than me, who earnestly believed in God and chanted mantras and prayed to God every day. After so many conversations on a daily basis, we would sit in balcony and talk about God, universe, atheism, and everything. In those conversations, I realized I never hated the idea of a higher power. I hated the stories that people forced on me. I hated the fear, the guilt, the manipulation attached to it. I hate that I hated that every bad thing was justified as divine plan and every good thing was credited to divine mercy. That day, I paused for the first time, not in surrender but in curiosity. If the universe is treating me like a friend, maybe the God I rejected was never the real one. I even thought the universe is actually better than God because it answers my questions. Someone else asked me this during a very raw conversation. I was explaining how the universe had been guiding me, how science started connecting, how my intuition spoke like a person now. They listened quietly, like two of them, that one friend who prays to God, and the others from North India who became a friend to both of us. And after the conversation, they said, if you're receiving answers from something that feels intelligent, then who do you think that is? I froze because I didn't have an answer for who that is. Because until that moment, I hadn't tried answering it. I didn't give a name or something. I just called it an old friend. I kept on escaping that single question like avoiding an emotionally complicated ex. With that question, my mind couldn't find a reply or a counter argument. The universe had personality, it had timing, precision, humor, for God's sake. So, if something has intention, something is behind it, maybe not God the way I imagined, but not nothing either. There was something. So, after the conversation ended, we drifted to the next topic. And when I came to my bed that night, I didn't sleep. Not because I was scared, but because something shifted quietly, like a locked door finally giving a gentle knock. That was such a soft, tender face for me, where I didn't believe in God, but I can't deny the intelligence around me either. Where you don't call it divine, but you don't dismiss it as coincidences either. Where you don't kneel to pray, but you soften, like you start thinking about who is behind all of this. Trust me, I wasn't ready to give the universe the name God, not it. That name carried too much history for me, too much pain, conflict, like someone who demands everything. But I couldn't deny what was happening either. This presence, the universe, the one that earned my trust, like a friend who stayed too long to be ignored, was undeniably real. And for the first time, I got myself wondering maybe I wasn't wrong. I was hurt. And the universe, it didn't force me to believe in anything, it just supported me. It didn't demand worship, didn't demand titles. It just stayed calmly, like a companion who knew I need time to rebuild my definition of divinity from scratch. See, this episode isn't about believing in God. It's about the space where the walls started cracking. Whatever I believed in started changing, where light slipped in through emotional loopholes, and you realize maybe, just maybe, the universe wasn't trying to convert you, it was trying to comfort you. Next episode, we step in the moment where this presence, this friend, slowly begins revealing its deeper truth, where the line between universe and something divine started blurring in ways you cannot unsee. So, yeah, to the love for Elroy, the God who sees us.